yes, I'm still continuing this series because Chuggaaconroy playing Kingdom Hearts is awesome. Before I get into that, though, let's get into my low, my high, my act of kindness. Happy Hump Day, everyone. Let's see. My low is, unfortunately, like this time of year, I'm not really getting very good sleep because, like, temperature control. Like, sometimes I gotta open my window, but then it's like too cold in here. So I'm in the heat, but then it's too hot in here, so I'm turning the heat off, but I still don't feel right. It's weird for me at the moment. My high is I got to talk to my mom yesterday a couple times. That was really great. And my act of kindness is that I held the door for some people. That was good of me to do that. Okay. I can't really start this video off without first mentioning what he did between the last 7 videos, because it's been 7 videos pretty much. So the last time I did this, he just finished Deep Jungle. And in the last week, he completed Olympus Coliseum, sealed the keyhole in Traverse Town, defeating Opposite Armor, and completed Agrabah. All of which I remember doing very well back in my day. So, where do I start with this? And I said this the other day, considering like the order that Chuggaaconroy was doing things, like, he better steamroll over both the fights between Cloud and Cerberus and Olympus Coliseum. And he kind of did that, I would say. I mean, I wouldn't say a complete steamroll, but he won pretty easily. Then to Traverse Town. That was really cool to see, the design for rapping. I said this before, but when the final mix for Kingdom Hearts came out, they recolored a bunch of the Heartless, including guard armor, which used to be completely purple, and now it's like, white and red and blue and stuff like that. And Opposite Armor, for the most part, is the same way. So Chuggaaconroy is a summoning playstyle. Okay. I mean, I will admit, I really was never one who used summons in Kingdom Hearts. I mean, I used, like, when I first played, back when I really wasn't very good and didn't level grind, like, I used them a lot, barely having any clue how they work. Of course, now, I like that Chuggaaconroy has this style because it lets me see what he's playing in a different light, which is really cool. And I love that he's spamming Simba, and I love that he mentions that Lion King is his all-time favorite Disney movie. Before that, though, it was Aladdin. I'll get to that in a second. Actually, I'll get to that right now. I like that, and this is something I never thought of back in the day, but before I started, like, being a level grinder myself, I was, like, in a hurry to see, like, what comes next. Sometimes it worked well, and sometimes it didn't work well. But I would see, going to Agrabah, and it was a lot of fun, hearing, seeing the characters of Aladdin, Jasmine, Jafar, Iago, voiced by Gilbert Gottfried. Actually, all the Aladdin voice actors returned to voice Aladdin and the characters in Agrabah. I like how Chuggaaconroy talked about the voice act. I'm sorry, the names are escaping me. but the voice actor for Aladdin was a character on Full House. And, like, I thought it was really funny that Chuggaaconroy said that he liked it when he was a kid, but nowadays it's just so bad. And, yeah, it's pretty terrible, actually. Like, to this day, the one joke that was even remotely good for me was when, Uncle Joey had the wooden puppet that was a woodchuck. Was it made of wood? That was funny. That actually did get me, but that's the only joke that ever works for me from now on. I thought it was funny that for the Jafar fight, he said that Goofy and Aladdin, because he had Aladdin and Goofy in this party, are dead weight, which, yeah, they are. Although I couldn't really talk about Agrabah without first talking about how Chuggaaconroy said, okay, I don't hate Kingdom Hearts 2. If you don't know what that means, years ago, and I mean years ago, like around the time he was just starting out, Chuggaaconroy actually made a video doing like 50 facts about himself, which I actually looked up before this video just to listen to a couple things. And in that video, he said he loved Kingdom Hearts 1, but he despised Kingdom Hearts 2. He also had some other crazy facts, like he found a colony of ants in his Xbox 360. As well as his dad thinks video games are evil and taking drugs is okay. Again, this was a really old video. I mean, if Chuggaaconroy ever does Kingdom Hearts 2, yeah, I'm sure he'll be able to explain himself better. I mean, listen, after he finishes Kingdom Hearts, I would expect him to do Kingdom Hearts 2 for at least 4 years. At least 4 years. If he even decides to do that game next in the series. He can do Chain of Memories, he can do 360 over 2 days. I don't know what he'll do. Although, from that video, I got called shenanigans about something. Not that Chuggaaconroy specifically did, but in that video, one of the facts he mentioned is he once got detention for something that he didn't do. And what happened was, this girl, who clearly, and keep in mind, this was in 6th grade when this happened for him. He said when he was in 6th grade, there was a girl that really didn't like him, who falsely accused him of sexual harassment. And Chuggaaconroy had no idea what the term sexual harassment means. Which, again, if I'm Chuggaaconroy, I'm calling shenanigans on that girl. Because, like, okay, I learned what sexual harassment was when I was in 7th grade. So, like 13 years old, roughly. 6th grade, okay, the youngest, 11 years old, maybe 10 at the very youngest. I guess I can kind of see a kid knowing what that term means if, like, their parents are incredibly progressive and they want their kids to know this stuff as soon as possible. But I'm sorry, like, there is no, like, at least one of those 2 words a kid that age shouldn't know. I'm just saying. So, yeah, Chuggaaconroy royally got hosed. I'm sorry, he did. He did, okay. Unfortunately, even back then, it was still a time where, you know, the accusation can be completely false, but it's still going to ruin your good name. Unfortunately, that's how it works. It sucks, but that's how it works. Anyway, back to Kingdom Hearts. It is really cool seeing Simba again. Actually, I knew that you get upgrades to Blizzard and Fire around this point. I forgot that they both happened in Agrabah. Like, after you defeat Jafar in his first fight, you get an upgrade to Blizzard, which is Blizzara. And after you defeat Jafar in his genie form, you get an upgrade to Fire, which is Fyra. I forgot they happened then. I like how Chuggaaconroy's been really great about showing off how the enemies are completely exclusive to the final mix. Like in Deep Jungle, there was the Black Serenade, I think is what it is. Some people know what I'm talking about. But in Agrabah, it's the Pot Scorpion, which I remember playing the final mix. I remember both of those enemies quite well. I mean, it's been a while since I played the final mix. Maybe 2017 since I last played it. Yeah, 2017, 20, maybe 2016. I think it's been the better half of a decade since I last played either Kingdom Hearts or Kingdom Hearts 2 final mixes. I forgot that you could actually push the pots in that room to make sure you don't end up getting the Pot Scorpion. Okay, I completely forgot all about that. Neat. He finally activated synthesis and synthesizing, which I like the joke where he talks to one of the Koopos, and one of the Koopos says, "Someday we're going to make the ultimate weapon," and then he says, "So you guys are going to create nukes?" Well, there actually is one weapon that, depending on how you use it, acts like a nuke that you get later in the game. I mean, listen, Chuggaaconroy is going to show off what it is. Should I give it away? Nah, I don't want to give it away. Although, as someone who has played Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, getting this weapon it's pretty sick, actually. It really is sick, and something you're going to need for, I mean, do you really need to get every single weapon and item in the game to 100% Kingdom Hearts? No, but it's nice to have. I mean, Chuggaaconroy's got over the weapons that Donald and Goofy get, and I mean, he goes from Goofy having the Smasher to the Gygas Fist, which is, the Gygas Fist is essentially the Smasher without a soul. I love he said that. And the Mage's Staff is Donald's regular staff, but it's red. Which, I mean, Donald always wears blue, so the blue and red is a nice contrast. It never occurred to me to think that Agrabah would be, as Chuggaaconroy referred to it as, a treasure trove. What he meant is, in the bazaar especially, because the bazaar is an area in Agrabah, there's a place you can farm experience like no one's business. I can't believe that never occurred to me. I mean, it's also where the black truffles are, which, I'll be honest, I never sought the black truffles, like, at all. Like, I know there's one world coming up that has black truffles in it, but it never occurred to me to go to that one. Yeah. It's just all sorts of, like, crazy stuff that's happening that I mean, like, it's, I wouldn't say I completely forgot some things. It's just like, oh yeah, that does happen, doesn't it? Speaking of things like, oh yeah, that does happen, doesn't it? He ended the last video going to a completely optional world. If you don't know, when you first meet Merlin, you see Sid in Traverse Town, and Sid gives Sora a book that, you know, he then gives the book to Merlin. And there's missing pages out of it. And throughout the game, you look for these missing pages. and one of them is an Agrabah, which after Chuggaaconroy completed Agrabah, he goes back to Traverse Town and puts that first page in the book. And that book is the 100-Acre Wood. Basically, it's an optional world that, well, here's the thing. It's optional to do. If you want 100% Kingdom Hearts, you have to do it. If you want to get like the best ending of the game, you have to get the keyhole in 100-Acre Wood, which you can do, but it takes again, it's going to take like a good majority of the game to complete. With that said, though, I don't really know what. I mean, I could definitely because I definitely had playthroughs of Kingdom Hearts where I would get like all the pages, and as soon as I got the last one, just do all of 100-Acre Wood in one shot. You can totally do that. You can do the pages in the 100-Acre Wood as it goes. I mean, that also works too. I guess it depends on what you want to wind up doing. But also, I can't end this video without talking about the comparison Chuggaaconroy made to when getting to Agrabah, you fight Jafar. And Jafar is one of the main villains that's helping Maleficent, find the princesses apart. Like, you're fighting one of Maleficent's guys. Like, in Agrabah, he says, you hit the big leagues. Which had never occurred to me before to think that, but yeah, you are. And it's also great that at the end of every world, Chuggaaconroy will analyze, like, the boss. And by boss, I mean, like, the Disney character that's controlling the Heartless. Like, in Deep Jungle, he said that the Heartless were attracted to the hatred that was in Clayton's heart, and that's what attracted the Heartless there. In Jafar's case, Maleficent said, don't be too careless. The Heartless will take advantage of that. And Jafar's like, he says something along the lines of, your sentiment is touching, but entirely unnecessary. But when you stop and think about it, Jafar wants to find the keyhole. Why does he do that? Because the Heartless are manipulating him. That's something I never realized but only Chuggaaconroy himself would have been able to figure that out. Man, I'm seeing this game in a whole new light. Like, I kind of want to play it again. I mean, my PS3 is literally right there. All I gotta do is plug it in and set it up. And I had like a whole bunch of save files on the Kingdom Hearts game that I copied over to just start, at level 44 because I'm a baller like that at Destiny Islands. I mean, I have no plans of doing so, but I could. Yeah, this is actually a lot of fun. I wonder what he'll say about... Actually, I don't want to give too much away. So I'll just say, I'm really enjoying this. Shoot, actually, hold on. And I wanted to say this also. When you first get back to Traverse Town, that's when Sora runs into Riku again. Sora offers Riku the invitation to come along, and Donald says he can't. Why exactly? Like, they never explain why. Like, it wouldn't have... I mean, obviously, if you're watching the final mix, you know that Riku wound up getting caught up with Maleficent, so Maleficent, for the most part, pretty much manipulates Riku to some capacity. And so, like, there really was no reason why he couldn't go. Like, I really do feel like that would have saved a whole lot of grief down the line, which is something I will get into as Chuggaaconroy keeps playing through Kingdom Hearts. But I think I'll stop here. I hope you like this video. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very home this video for all of you guys watching the show over there. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And remember, if you guys want to talk to me, we're here to lend you. Always be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.